that grew to the community, and we had business people that also, we were going 2 and 3 guys per player, and we had a hybrid kind of thought about mentoring. In other words, they were mentored by the community, both internal and external, but they had a name and they had a face. And there are a number of you that are out there that were not only administrators, but were faculty members or were business people within the community that had lessons to teach our players. And what we did is we solicited help. We said, we didn't know a lot, we know you know more, please come and help our players. Please stand up. Go ahead and stand up, faculty members. The mentor program. Before you sit down, people have a look right in there. And now the Fishers, please stand up. Please stand up over there. You're not going to be allowed to sit down. And just an aside, the Fishers, Jeff in particular, coached both boys in baseball. And then seeing how good he was at that, we brought his family into our mentor program, and he mentored our players, one of our players in particular. And again, we were working off of a moving template. All right, so I want to thank you for doing that. All right, now the coaches, please stand up and I'll talk about you. I want to talk about you. Anybody that ever coached with us, me, stand up. Have a look around. While they're standing, is anybody that you're going to stay standing, Ryan? I got my right on you. All right. One of the things, there are 4 cornerstones to what we felt where we could go after a national championship. Number 1, and you can never bypass this, is work ethic. And I pushed them to an incredible day. They all know that 16 hours was a given day, perhaps 18. Some people would look at that and say, wasted time. I don't know about wasted time. I just know that we're going to bring hammer to rock, and we were going to work. And if we expected our players to be uncomfortable, then we needed to be uncomfortable as well. Because nothing that is done on an extraordinary level can be done unless you have a tremendous work ethic. And so these guys here, again, were out in front of me. They were never behind me. They were never level with me. They're the ones who did the foot soldier work. They're the ones who put the imprint on the players. They're the ones that were able to communicate from me to the players when I wasn't so good. Bad practice, bad teacher, bad example. These guys would come in on my flank and take care of fence mending. And that was the most important thing that you guys could have done for this program. And the mark national championship is on all of you. Thank you. Now we go to the highlight of the friends of the program, I call them. It could be Brett Just out there. It could be this person over here. It could be that person over here. But they were just raw bone fans and friends that just kept showing up and coming to our games. They were nurturing to me and the staff. Please stand up. Steve Spencer, I think it's appropriate that you stand up, having flown out from Newport Beach and looking tan as a berry. Stand up, please. Friends of the program. Brett Just, please stand up. Friend of the program. There we go. There we go. Don't try and hide on me. Former players, please stand up. 2000 champions. Former players, all of you stand up. As I told you, I'll have you all standing so that everybody gets credit, because that's the way it is. And I just want to say that those guys were the point to everything that we did. It's not us. Ultimately, you guys had to be champions. You're the ones who had to get up at 4:45 in the morning, make the drive over here, and we started our day like that. After they were done with that, they ate breakfast, went to class, study table, weights, extra shooting, and then some film. And our whole goal was to put them to bed tired. Every day. Put them to bed tired. Takes care of a lot of trouble late at night. All right, I want to thank all of you guys. I'll have a chance to talk about the 2002 team. Thank you very much. It's easy now for me to talk right off the top. That was a checklist that I needed to do, so it harnessed me a little bit, but I'm better when I go. And the one thing that all head coaches need, and I think great leaders need, is the ability to enlist. You're constantly trying to incorporate somebody else into your program, because for me, I know that those people at Metro State, all of you were better than I was, more capable, had a talent, and we had to seek that talent out and then give it to our players. We stimulated our players with a lot of different voices, a lot of different voices. And that was the single greatest mission or charge that I had every day, was to represent our players in a way where I was trying to gather one more person, one more fan, somebody that could take their knowledge and impart it on our players. That was my single greatest mission every day. 4 things that I addressed a little bit earlier. I touched on one of them, was the work ethic. Number 2 is, I would say to the players, what are you willing to give up in order to get? Because the mission of excellence, I don't know about national championships. I never pursued those in that form. I'm a process human being, and good things come to a very ardent process, a very, as Coach Newell said, a very precise process. Something, but you have to have the buy-in. And the buy-in was a taste of excellence for an institution that didn't have a name. And we would be able to be one of the first, if not the first, to put a mark on the wall a little bit higher than everybody else, and then share it with the institution and highlight the institution. The players did that. The players did that. All right, so they sacrificed a lot. And the biggest thing that they sacrificed was their time. They gave of their free time. And what we tried to inculcate on our players was this: your success is in direct proportion to what you do with your free time. And the smart players came back to me one-on-one in the office and said, we have no free time. Thank you. You have no free time. Exactly. It's an interesting contradiction that we live, and it's one that we try to sell. But you're going to have to give up a lot in order to be committed to a cause. And I always tried to refer the cause back to the most selfish desire that that person had. And it's always greatness. It's always excellence. It's always, hey, I want to do something that's beyond myself and share it with somebody else. And once we clicked into that and really took stock of what they wanted, all right, then we had the combination to bring them to the fore, to give up that time so that they dare fail to trying to be a champion. Because you find out through the margin of failure what you're about, not through success. And can you get up again and make the same assault and get knocked down? It's that simple. It really is that simple. And I think that those players, the 2000 team, the 2001 team, just the whole culture of the 9 years, it wasn't one team getting a championship. It was all of them. All of them. And it started from day one. So just because we're defined by a couple national championships, it never was our culture. Our culture was, again, process. Number 3 is how they chose to handle discouragement. We had a lot of things that happened to us that were discouraged. We had to handle them and learn from them and have class and defeat, class and victory. A lot of life skills that went into that through our mentor program that taught these guys how to act. Very, very, very important. And finally, how they were going to handle outside influences. All of them had extended families, girlfriends, a myriad of motivating other people in their lives, and how to turn those voices off in the name of team. And those were our 4 cornerstones. That was it. That's simple. But underneath it, very complicated. And so, again, I wanted to share with you what the sell was, or what the buy-in was for them. And the buy-in is Metro State, and what they will understand and they're beginning to understand when they're there last night or playing wiffle ball today or playing over here and communicating with each other, is that they have left a mark. But also is the legacy is always the players. It's always somebody else. It's never the leader. Never the leader. No way. And so all I'm saying to you is I'm humbled to be here. Metro State's a very, very special place. It always will be. And it's home for the Dunlap family. Thank you.